Hello and welcome to the State of the Site address. So here's the basic idea. Every year around this time, I consider New York Comic Con the end of my year. The reason I do that is I spend most of my year planning to get to New York Comic Con. So with that in mind, I'm doing my best to reach all my goals by then. So this is like a lull for me. This is like most people feel like December to January as the new year is coming. This is exactly how I feel right now. So what I do is I reflect and I look at what worked and what didn't work in the year for WrittenSiNs. So I made a list and we're going to go over it. So basically to me, Halloween is the start of a new year, while New York Comic Con is the end of my last year. So right now I'm in the in-between and the lull. It's just how I've always looked at my year, because it gets really busy when I used to work in retail around this time of the year. So this was the time of the year that I wound up doing the most amount of stuff. So almost like felt like a new beginning and a lull was over. And October felt like the wind down to me always. There's going to be no more Cosview Who. We had a lot of problems with that program in the last year where people thought it was creepy or made comments about it. We're going to still try to give credit to people who are cosviewing. We're just not going to be titling anything anymore. We're going to let WS, the Reaper who runs our site, get a little creative with what he does with titles. And we're no longer going to be actively searching for anyone through a title of it. Would like to showcase everyone, but there was just too much negativity around the actively looking for people. So we're backing off of that. The 7 Deadly Questions will return. It will be the same format. The truth about this is in the first year, and even to a point in this year, we kept talking to new artists and asking them about doing interviews and all that. And to be honest with you, a lot of people don't make time for self-promotion, which is, I mean, ultimately it falls on them. If you're not going to make time to be promoted by a site like WrittenSiNs or other sites, and you fall short of your goals, that's going to be on you. I can't waste time. And I don't mean this as a dig, but it's a truth, and I want you guys to hear it. I can't waste time searching to support people who aren't willing to do the work. My job is not to get your stuff out there without your help. You are required to be part of this. So if you want help, when I ask for something, I need it back. And that's how the interviews are going to be going from now on, which personally in the last year, as many of you have realized, I've fallen in love with the format of WrittenSiNs. Because WrittenSiNs is more, the creators get on, they get to say what they have to say, and then they get off. And I don't mean it the way it sounds, but you get the point. But we will be doing some more 7 Deadly Questions. Some people don't like it. We're going to be more sparing with it, with people who really want to get involved. So if you want to really do an interview and I give you the questions, I expect them back. I'm not playing babysitter to anyone anymore. If you guys want promotion, you got to step up. You know, WrittenSiNs is getting to the point where when I'm trying to follow up with you because you're not doing your part, I'm not helping someone else. And I just can't have that happen anymore. I want to support you all, but I need to really support the people who are stepping up more than the people who are just taking a back seat and wanting someone else to do everything for them. And as always, we're here to support you guys, but you got to put the legwork in. And you guys can see in the background, I'm just showing the different titles for today's Kickstarter talk, so you guys can get an idea of what's going to be on the show. We are going to be expanding into new territories. This is going to be done through reporters that we're bringing on. We're bringing on 20 reporters in the next 3 months. And they're going to be going to different areas where we're giving people different areas, and we're being able to get them into actual Comic-Cons under press passes, to be able to report on the shows for us, to focus on indie comics. So that's going to be a big thing in the coming year. The art of the day, it isn't going away. It's only going to be getting better. Basically what that means is that we're going to be focusing on people who are really churning out some amazing art. Doesn't mean we won't cover anyone. It just means that there might be a little bit of a quality control. In the last year, there were a couple pieces of art that were given to us that we heard complaints about directly on the site in my inbox. If someone doesn't want to work hard, put their art on our site, then we're going to show art that isn't really up to par. I don't like standards. I don't like not being supportive, but there is a clear line I think we can all agree on. So if you're giving us things that aren't hitting a clear line of, okay, you're not even trying, we're not going to showcase it anymore. We're going to be putting in the standard that, you know, indie comics is putting out quality. And if you guys are just trying to call it in and try to get noticed by giving us really shitty stuff that you're really not getting done. And I'm not talking about writers trying to make anything happen. I'm talking about artists who give us like their drawings that they have been doing. And those artists, we're just not going to be putting that art up on our site and embarrassing other artists. And I've heard the artists and I've heard the complaints, and I hear you instilling those things. We're going to be having a bar, and it's going to be, and at the times I'm not sure if someone makes the bar or not, I will be reaching out to the people, including my wife, who I trust with art. And if she doesn't think it belongs on the site, it won't make it. Along with some of the reporters might get to make that call. So we are trying to expand. I did hear in the last year that a lot of people felt like we needed to expand on kind of a quality control. I hear you, and it's happening. Comic-Con Highway changes. We're going to, of course, it was a very successful beta program, which we're launching into the 2018 year. Obviously, there's no more Comic-Con season. It goes 12 months now. With that in mind, we're not going to focus as much on the cons. We're going to start focusing on you, the creators, showing up at different cons. So if you have a stop that you're making, we want to showcase that convention on the Comic-Con Highway with your stop in mind, you showing up to it. So here are the two things I need from someone who wants to be showcased. I need you to make a graphic with the logo from the con and your graphic. And I need to know details. I need a link to the actual con. And we're going to be going over that more, but that's how it's going to run. There will be certain cons that we, of course, cover as their own selves, but especially if it's a one-day or a two-day con, we want to know that there's an indie comic creator there, and we want to be able to showcase the indie comics side of the events to help Artist Alley and to help promote indie comic creators. We're, once again, just with the standards and quality, I heard a lot over the last 2 years of running WrittenSiNs, starting with WrittenSiNs Productions, almost 3 years now. And I always wanted to have a site where anyone could join and put up an ad, and I don't want to walk away from that. But I do hear that a lot of creators feel like they need to be on a site where there's not creators putting things on that aren't kind of like Saturday Night Live. Was the place before you went to the pros, like the minor leagues almost. I hate to use the analogy, but it's the truth. That's what WrittenSiNs is. We're not going to be Pee Wee football anymore. If the creators aren't going to be willing to fill out interviews and do that, I'm done holding hands, guys. You know, our site's gotten too big, and it's really making a difference for some creators. And every time I got to hold the hand of a creator and tell them how to fill out an interview, I'm taking away from a creator who's desperate and hungry to be promoted, someone who's grinding every day to get noticed. And I got to worry about them, and I got to focus about them. So if you want to be covered, I'm not saying no. I'm saying show us why we should cover you. It's just that simple. Give me something that shows you're ready to be in a spotlight. Also, speaking of spotlights, I just wanted to go over the fact a few people had asked. We are discontinuing going forward all contests that pick a creator over any other creator outside of the spotlight. This is being done because I don't like the competitiveness of it. I don't like putting one creator over the other. I think that every creator is amazing, and I respect you all for what you do. And I mean that truly, and I mean that deeply. I do respect everyone out there who's grinding and who's trying to get their work out there. So nothing but respect for you guys. Seriously, I'm here to help you, and I want to get rid of the competitiveness because we're not competing with each other. We're competing with the audience to get them to notice us. Let's be honest. That's what indie comics is. It's the competition against the audience to teach the audience that there is something better in indie comics that is being offered in the mainstream media. And at times we go to the mainstream media with something new and different. So I'm always listening to you guys. I do hear you, and I do understand it. Sometimes we're slow with changes only because we want to know how to implement them right. Jack, don't bang your car. We want to implement things in a fair way. I don't want it to. It's not a who you know site, WrittenSiNs, but I do want to implement changes in the regards to quality. And you'll see that going forward. Even our cosplay, we've decided to start showcasing the cosplayers who are definitely nailing it. And most of that opinion will be by the reporter on scene taking the pictures. So, I mean, me personally, I took over 1,000 cosplay pictures this year, so it's a lot. We were showcasing once a day. We might be going back to twice a day. So I just want quality over quantity on the site. I really want, you know, because a lot of us put a lot of effort in. We put a lot of heart in. We work our asses off to get our projects done. And I want you guys to know I respect that. With that said, my sister's trying to call. Sorry if that hit the video off. 1 second. Yeah, can you call my sister in the other room? I just want to make sure my sister's okay. I'm going to send my wife in the other room to call her. Just tell her I'm on a live video.
Hi, guys.
Co-creator of Fetish Babies is in the house playing with Jax too. All right, so that's it. Always listening to you guys. Always want to know what you got. We're going to go into Kickstarter talks. So those of you on YouTube, you can join us in the next video, which we're going to go live on now. Make sure that you guys are subscribing to our YouTube channel.